Now, unless you main him in Smash, you know Lucario from the movie that came out 1 year before its debut in Brawl. That's right, in 2007, Kuniko Yuyama directed Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, arguably the best feature film in the Pokemon anime. I remember coming home one day in 2008 super excited to watch it when my mom told me that in fact I was not going to watch it because I had to eat my eggs for dinner and go to bed. My response was to run away from home. That's right, the only time I attempted to escape my perfectly normal sheltered life in the suburbs of Chicago was at the age of 6, when I was denied immediate access to Pokemon Lucario and the Mystery of Mew.
And you're about to see why.
Pokemon.
Analyze Lucario's hero's journey, we'll be using Dan Harmon's Story Circle, an easy-to-understand, modern-day narrative device derivative of the introspective protagonist of French New Wave films,
as well as the rebellious journeys seen by Japanese New Wave protagonists.
The steps of the circle outline when the plot points occur and the order in which our hero completes their character development. These 8 steps are 1. You, a character in their comfort zone. 2. Need, the character wants something. 3. Go, the character enters an unfamiliar situation. 4. Search, to which the character must adapt. 5. Find, the meeting of the goddess. 6. Take, making the sacrifice. 7. Return, before they return to their familiar situation. And 8. Change. The story ends with the character now master of both worlds. Lucario's You finds him in the midst of a war serving his master, Sir Aaron. He and Aaron have a sixth sense called Aura, which makes their bond extremely powerful. Side note, it's a huge bummer to me that Aura became this big part of brain rot memes because back in 2007 it was the coolest shit ever. The stakes are skyrocketed as the armies on either side of the war will crush Lucario and Sir Aaron's kingdom when they clash. Sir Aaron rushes to Lucario explaining that he can no longer be Lucario's master.
I'm no longer your master.
And that he is a coward, and he's abandoning the queen and the kingdom.
I've abandoned the queen and the kingdom.
He then entraps a dumbfounded Lucario in the crystals of the staff, which is brought back to the queen and stowed away as a mysterious wave of tranquility washes over the kingdom, stopping the clash of the armies. The audience is made aware that Sir Aaron did something at the landmark of their kingdom, the Tree of Beginning, and that Mew may have been involved in some way. However, the events that transpire remain a mystery to Lucario. We pick up centuries later with Ash and his friends arriving at a battle event at the same palace. Lucario has been trapped in the staff all this time. The gang dress up in old royal garb for the battle event. Ash happens to dress exactly like Sir Aaron. After winning the competition, Ash is given the staff and told to assume the pose of the Guardian. Even in the staff, Lucario is able to sense a strong aura from Ash. Thinking Ash is Sir Aaron due to their similar aura, it says,
"Why did you abandon the queen?"
This establishes Lucario's need, which is for closure. Though Sir Aaron's actions were supposedly noble, from Lucario's perspective, he is a traitor. Lucario rushes out of the palace, still unable to understand what's going on. To him, it feels like no time has passed.
Why are they celebrating?
He sees familiar parts of the castle and reminisces about good times with Sir Aaron. Lucario's turmoil is briefly lifted when he sees the queen, only for her to reveal that the queen he knows is actually one of her ancestors. As the revelation of just how long Lucario has been in the staff sets in, Lucario has a panic attack. It is reluctant to believe that Sir Aaron saved the kingdom after trapping it and fleeing like a coward. Did Sir Aaron save the kingdom? If he did he just trap Lucario because he hated it? Was their friendship even real?
These thoughts are no doubt fluttering through Lucario's head. It explains to Ash that it was able to communicate with him through the staff due to Ash having a similarly powerful aura to that of Sir Aaron. This remains relevant in the anime, as Ash will one day train using an aura-based bond with Greninja and again with his own Lucario. Suddenly, Max interrupts everyone to let them know that he just saw Pikachu and Meowth get taken away by Mew. The gang don't believe him at first when Kid, a Project Mew operative, who Ash battled earlier, enters to confirm Max's story. And of course, Brock hits on her. The princess requests that Lucario lead Ash and the gang on a journey to the Tree of Beginning to rescue Pikachu. This is Lucario's go. Ash thanks Lucario for being willing to lead a rescue mission. Lucario inquires about the relationship between Ash and Pikachu, and is confused when Ash explains that he and Pikachu aren't just Pokemon and Master, but they are best friends. Lucario tells Ash that it has no friends, and doesn't want any. clearly conflicted on whether his own relationship with Sir Aaron was master to pet or friend to friend like Ash and Pikachu. The next morning, they start off on their journey to the Tree of Beginning, in a Cybertruck. And these kids clearly have no riz because they don't know anything about Aura.
Aura? What is Aura anyway?
Lucario's search begins at the gang's first trial. They come across hot springs that even the Cybertruck can't get past. And Lucario reminisces on when Sir Aaron once showed him the springs. We cut back to the present. Ash beckons Lucario to come and join them in the waters. Lucario's smile fades as it projects its inner conflict about the nature of its relationship with Sir Aaron onto Ash due to their similar auras. Then, May, getting to do exactly one thing in this movie, finds an extremely convenient plot device called a time flower. Don't worry, May, we'll get to you in the next one. These flowers record moments in the past that can be replayed at a touch in the future. Although it leads to some epic moments, this shoehorn device is easily the movie's biggest flaw, and such a fixable one. If this movie was called Lucario and the Mystery of Celebi, time would be so much more relevant to its theme. Yeah, it's cool that the same Mew is dealing with these shenanigans of the kingdom all the time, but if it were Celebi, it would be able to play more of an active role in the plot, jumping between times to slowly reveal the truth to Lucario. And since Celebi is the voice of the forest, it would make more sense for it to rule over the Tree of Beginning. But I guess we just have to assume that Dialga traveled here once and took a shit, which became the soil, resulting in these flowers. Official canon! Anyways, Lucario remembers Sir Aaron telling him about the flowers, and Kid chimes in to let us know that the legends tell of Sir Aaron using them often. Wow, how convenient! This definitely couldn't have possibly been replaced by Celebi showing us flashbacks every now and then based on Lucario's aura and emotions, right? Right? Nah, we need a magical bullshit flower of time that never shows up again in the entire anime. Alright, fanfiction aside, that evening the gang are gathered around a campfire. Lucario is aloof as ever as Ash tells everyone about how when he and Pikachu first met, they didn't get along immediately, and how that all changed after the Spearow attack. You can actually learn more about this in my video on the first episode of Pokemon that I'll link at the end of this video and in the description. This is the only instance in a Pokemon movie where Ash references he and Pikachu's beginnings, and it's just so damn cool that this tiny world of Pokemon presented to us in the first episode is being fleshed out to have medieval wars and magic powers. Right after said Spearow attack, Ash sees Ho-Oh granting him his eternal happiness. Interestingly, this movie opens with what appears to be Ho-Oh flying over Lucario. This Ho-Oh is eventually revealed to be Mew. This implies that Lucario may achieve eternal happiness in a deceitful way. As Ash continues describing his relationship with Pikachu, Lucario becomes jealous. This is because it thought this was the relationship that it had with Sir Aaron before his betrayal. For this reason, Lucario tells Ash that he will do the same thing to Pikachu.
You would leave Pikachu without hesitating if you had to.
Ash gets pissed and chases after it. The altercation becomes physical, and they both leave to cool off. May points out how uncalled for this was of Ash to do, to which he agrees. Hey, wow, yeah. I guess she actually does do something else. Nice job, May. Meanwhile, Max approaches a pensive Lucario to offer it some chocolate. They share a sweet moment of human-to-Pokemon connection as they eat it. This begins to sway Lucario's thoughts. Before setting off the next day, Lucario watches Ash wander out alone in the moonlight, facing the Tree of Beginning and talking to Pikachu. This shows it that Ash really does care about Pikachu after all. They set off again the following morning to reach the base of the tree. Once there, Lucario points out that this is the exact spot where Sir Aaron trapped him in the staff. He activates a plot device. Time flower. And he and the gang are forced to bear witness to the event that shattered Lucario's world and started its trauma. This gives Ash sympathy for Lucario. The gang don't know what to believe about Sir Aaron anymore. The memory continues as the two armies clash. Lucario starts chucking out aura spheres like it's Smash Bros. Ultimate. The flower deactivates and the team concludes that Lucario was right. Sir Aaron was a coward. Ash approaches Lucario sobbing and apologizes for what he said. Lucario makes Ash promise to never desert Pikachu, and their beef is squashed. Just then, Lucario's senses start tingling as Kim Kardashian's favorite Reggie attacks the gang.
What's the one thing you can never live without?
My family. Can't live without Reggie Rock.
Lucario protects them as they flee into the tree and warns that other Pokemon will try to attack them to protect the tree. They enter and are treated to an Area Zero-esque view. Lucario and Ash rush up the tree to find Pikachu when they are confronted by... They escape further up the tree when they encounter their next trial, the Crystal Maze. Unfortunately, this guy is back, and this time he brought his Nazi-sympathizing friend.
We then learn that the Tree of Beginning is alive
And contains big scary blood cell globby monsters to flush out the outsiders. Oh, and by the way, Team Rocket have also been here this entire time, hiding in the back of the Cybertruck and trekking up the tree. I only mention them now because the first time we see these scary Code Lyoko-ass CGI blood cell monsters in action is when they murder Jesse and James. Yeah, they scream out in horror as they release their Pokemon and fucking die.
No! Save yourself!
Lucario helps the rest of the gang keep moving up the tree. A blood cell tries to swallow Lucario, but then we learn that it's immune because it's a Pokemon. Ash tells the others that it's too dangerous and they need to leave. However, Lucario stays, saying,
I won't leave until you find Pikachu. I know you would do the same for me.
Even if Sir Aaron was a traitor, Lucario has now accepted that not all humans are lying cowards. He has now seen what Ash is willing to do for Pikachu firsthand. On their way down, Brock, May, and Max meet the same gruesome fate as Team Rocket. Meanwhile, Ash and Lucario finally reunite with Pikachu and Meowth. Kid meets up with them as well, and they all meet Mew near the heart of the tree. Kid and Ash are captured and killed, leaving their Pokemon to cry, but these tears aren't bringing anyone back. At this point, Mew uses its powers to connect to the tree, reversing the red life-taking monsters into life-giving ones, and conveniently bringing Ash and the gang back to life. Lucario is pleased to have completed his mission seemingly successfully. Like I said earlier, the find of a hero's journey is defined as meeting the goddess in this case being Mew, in the heart of the tree. After watching Mew use its powers, Kid realizes that Mew and the tree have a symbiotic relationship. They depend on each other to survive. Just then, the red color of the life-taking creatures flashes across the giant blue crystal before their eyes. Mew tries to give Ash his hat and it falls. Mew is sick. The crystals turn red and black. They begin breaking. The tree is dying, and Mew with it. Mew leads Ash, Kid, and Lucario to the center of the heart of the tree. There, Lucario notices something eerie. Sir Aaron's gloves are resting on the crystals. Lucario rushes to them. Noticing a figure entrapped in the larger crystal, he uses aura to analyze it, only to realize that Sir Aaron's aura has been trapped in the crystal to keep the tree alive this entire time, just as Lucario was trapped in the similar crystals of Sir Aaron's staff. They have both been trapped in the same way, barreling through time for centuries. Ash walks up to the crystal and accidentally activates a time flower growing right there. Oh, how convenient! The time flower plays a memory of Sir Aaron sacrificing himself, giving up his aura to Mew and the tree to save it and the kingdom. Lucario gets its closure. The gang finally understands that the legend is true. Sir Aaron's name is cleared.
He was a hero like the legends say.
Forgive me for doubting you, Master.
Mew reveals that the tree is still dying. This is when Lucario reveals that he must sacrifice his aura, and thus himself, in the same way that his master did. Ash heroically joins in, and they work together to give Mew their aura. As the aura sphere grows, Lucario pushes Ash out of the way so he doesn't end up like Sir Aaron. They've saved the tree, but Lucario's in pain. It activates yet another time flower. Jesus Christ, God, this would be so fucking frustrating if not for the gorgeous story implications that they provide. If the previous time flower worked as Sir Aaron's public apology, this is his personal apology to Lucario. The memory shows us Sir Aaron's final words, hurting in the same position as Lucario. Sir Aaron explains that Lucario was never a student to him.
You were more to me than just my student.
It was his greatest friend.
You are my closest friend. I feel the same.
This fulfills Lucario's return. In hearing this from Sir Aaron himself, Lucario in a way returned home. Lucario has completed his journey by not only conquering its trauma and pent-up anxious feelings about its relationship with Sir Aaron, but by being gifted closure from the man himself. Shortly after, Lucario quite literally unites with Sir Aaron by making the ultimate sacrifice.
Lucario, please hang on! You can't leave us yet!
I have to go, Ash. Aaron is waiting for me.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Lucario has grown and changed. He spends eternity alongside his old master and greatest friend, at peace with the knowledge that their friendship will be eternal, eating chocolate together until the end of time.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I know I haven't posted in like 6 months, but I finally finished this video and I wanted to share it, and we've only got like 13 subscribers anyway, so if you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.